Das ist myfish.org aus Freude an Aquaristik. Ich bin gerade live auf der Interzoo und übergebe jetzt mal an den Stefan, denn wir sind gerade am Strand von de Jong.
Hallo, ich bin der Stefan, ihr habt mich ja wahrscheinlich schon mal gehört. Ich sitze hier am Stand von de Jong Marine Life und ich bin total geflasht, weil hier ein Aquarium steht, also so ein Aquariumblock, den ihr vielleicht auch aus dem Handel kennt. Und da sind wirklich nur Nachzuchten von Meerwasserfischen drin. Und dadurch, dass der Tom hier nur Englisch spricht, gehe ich jetzt einfach mal auf Englisch. So I'm totally flashed by the tanks here because I only see young bred marine fish. So was this year something extraordinary to just see one of all these wholesalers that are doing mostly captive bred fishes? Can you explain where did you get them? So are these all bred by yourself, by your company?
Those fish are not all bred by ourselves. So a lot of fish that you see in the system are bred in our facility in the Netherlands. But we also collaborate with a lot of other breeders around the world. And we sell their captive bred fish. And we bring it all together. And like that we can offer a really big assortment of tank bred fish. And we think that's the future, a sustainable future.
Ja, also es geht in Richtung Zukunft. Das ist ein Zukunftstrend. So the future trend is growing. Some weeks ago, I listened to a talk by one guy. I think it was Claude Schumacher, and so he asked the auditory how many fish are captive bred in the marine part. Do you know how many fish are captive bred at the moment?
I think in species, we are now almost around 200 species with all the breeders together in the world. But if you look to numbers, I think we sell more captive bred fish than wild-caught fish. Because the most popular fish that we sell the most are like clownfish and the fish seahorses that we breed a lot. So in numbers, I think we sell more captive bred fish than wild-caught fish.
Also normalerweise werden also von den Arten, die gut gehen, sagen wir mal so, das ist zum Beispiel Anemonenfische und so weiter, da werden mehr nachgezüchtete Tiere derzeit verkauft, was man auch hier sehen kann. So here I see some clownfish that have different colors. Are they already on their way to be domesticated like a guppy to show special colors or something? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, just like in the freshwater world, we also see with the clownfish the mutations, and we call it designer clownfish. All the crazy color forms. It's part of the future. People really love it. So yeah, we also breed them, but we breed them really responsible. So we are really looking into the genetics that we have good, healthy fish. That's very important.
Ja, das ist ja heutzutage ein ganz wichtiger Trend, dass also die Tiere, die man züchtet, gerade wenn es solche Zuchten sind, die über mehrere Generationen gehen, auch gesund bleiben. Ja, so what's one of the biggest problem? Because now I see it's really a hype when the numbers of captive bred fish go up. I think it's even more than 200 because I remember when the answer was about 300. So it's growing, so it's continuously growing. So what's the biggest problem in raising marine fish? Can you tell us a little bit about that? So is it the water? Is it the food? Is it just tell me a little bit.
Yeah, when you want to breed marine fish, you also have to be able to breed all the live plankton species, and there are so many plankton species. So it's two different worlds, and you have to bring them together. And then you also have to have passion, because it's a 7-day-a-week process from in the morning to late in the evening. So you have to have the knowledge, the resources, and the passion. And it's that combination which make it happen.
So I'm mostly breeding caracins at home, which is sometimes a little bit tricky because the first food is Artemia naupli, but some of them are even smaller. And I heard that a lot of marine fish species, also have planktonic larvae. Can you tell us a little bit how big they are and how many days or weeks or even months they need to be able to eat Artemia naupli?
So when, for example, an angelfish, when it's born, it doesn't have eyes, they have no mouth. It takes like 7 days, then the mouth starts to open, and then it can take until 6 months before they start even eat Artemia naupli. And before we are feeding them really the microplankton, microalgae, and those kind of plankton, you have to culture them in a real laboratory with protocols and very strict regulations. So it's a very complicated process because we are speaking about animals around 50 micron. So you cannot see them with the bare eye.
Ja, es ist natürlich einen ganzen Zacken weniger, als er gerade erzählt hat, wie groß das Futter ist. Er hat gesagt, so Mikroalgen, die liegen so im Bereich von 15 bis 20 Mikrometer. Wenn man das mal vergleicht, ich weiß nicht, ob jemand von euch Artemia-Netze daheim hat, wo man so Artemia absiebt. Da ist meistens so die Maschenweite 200, 250, manchmal 280 Mikrometer. Das heißt also, das Plankton, was hier verfüttert wird, das ist um Faktor 10, vielleicht sogar mehr als um den Faktor 10 kleiner als das, was wir jetzt im Süßwasserbereich von Artemia kennen. Ja, so what's the protocol you use when you are breeding the fish? Do you put them together? How do you make them spawn? Also wie wird das Ableichen bei diesen Meerwasserfischen initiiert? Das ist vielleicht ein bisschen anders. Im Meer gibt es ja keine so Frühjahr, Winter, keine Flutzeit, keine Regenzeit, keine Trockenzeit. So how is the spawning induced by these fish? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
So we have fish that are spawning the entire year, but most of our fish are seasonal spawners. So we are imitating spring. We raise the temperature, we access the photoperiod, we lower the salinity, and we do a lot with the food. We create our own food, and those triggers make them spawn. But it's one of the biggest challenges in marine fish breeding to get all the parents, the broodstock, into spawning condition.
Also das Wichtige ist, glaube ich, dass man die Tiere in eine gute Kondition bringt, wo auch ein gutes Futter dazu gehört, damit die Tiere in eine Kondition kommen. Aber was jetzt ganz interessant in der Antwort war, dass viele das ganze Jahr überleichen. So you told us that there are many of these fish are spawning all over the year. So do they spawn every month? Is it triggered by moonlight? Is it triggered by sun? Or what is it triggered by? When you said they spawn the whole year, 3 times a year or 10 times a year, can you tell us a little bit more?
So it's really different because we have so many species, but the clownfish, like Finding Nemo, it's spawning every week, a new clutch of eggs. But we also have fish like the Mirakelbaars, the comet, it only spawn like 2 or 3 times a year. We have angelfish, they only spawn once a month, so it's really different with all the species that we are working with.
So, Tom sagte gerade, dass es eben so ist, dass es von der Art abhängt. Also er hat gerade Clownfische, also die man ja alle aus Findet Nemo kennt, die jede Woche Eier legen. Und ich habe mal Gelege gesehen, die können ja so Clownfish eggs. What's the clutch size? I heard it's about 300 to 500 eggs. Yeah?
It's depending also on the species, but the average is around 600. We have pairs that lay 2,000 eggs in a clutch. When we have breeding pairs that are below 500 eggs per clutch, then we take them out of the breeding relation.
Also das waren jetzt gerade Zahlen, die einen da tatsächlich ein bisschen umhauen. Also 500 Eier oder 600 Eier so im Durchschnitt und das jede Woche. Und wenn die Tiere weniger als 500 oder 400 Eier oder so legen, dann werden sie einfach rausgenommen. Das ist schon eine verrückte Sache. Also rein theoretisch gibt es ein unglaubliches Reproduktionspotenzial. So, in nature, you don't find that many clownfish. So, because I think most of them won't survive. So, from one clutch, maybe no animal survives. Not even Nemo, like in the movie. So, are there fish that lay less eggs and to guard them more better? Is there also a species like the mouth breeders in the cichlids?
Yeah, the ocean is a very rough environment with a lot of flow and current. So in the ocean, we don't see that much parent caretaking. We only have like 2 species that are producing really life-bearing or taking care of the juveniles. There are some mouthbrooders like jawfish, cardinal fish. We have the seahorses, but the most of the fish in the ocean lay a lot of eggs and very tiny larvae, because then the larvae they can spread throughout the ocean. It's completely different than in freshwater.
Er erzählt gerade, dass es in diesem harschen Environment, also in dieser harschen Umgebung im Meer natürlich sehr viele Tiere gibt, die einfach die Eier entlassen und die sich dann irgendwo niederlassen. Also es ist einfach so ein Versuch. Und wenn die Tiere auf geeignete Konditionen treffen, wo sie sich niederlassen können, dann leben die dann halt. So what's the plan for the future? The last question. So breed more species, breed less species, doing more designer clownfish or something. What's your plan for the future? Can you tell us a little bit?
So we have now more than 200 species ready for breeding, and our plan is to breed and produce all the species that we can offer a really wide range of captive bred marine water fish. That's a little bit our plan for the future, and also to create a stable process that we can supply them throughout the entire year.
Also die Idee ist, auf mehr Arten zu gehen und vor allem einen Prozess zu etablieren, der also nachvollziehbar ist. Das heißt also, dass man regelmäßig diese Tiere die ganze Zeit lang übers Jahr bekommen kann. So thank you, and I handle the phone back to Lucas.
Ja, das waren auf jeden Fall sehr spannende Einblicke. Alle weiteren Informationen zu dieser Episode mit Bildern und Links findet ihr wie immer unter www.my-fisch.org. Und wir hören uns nächsten Samstag wieder. Danke und tschüss, euer Lukas.